Hi everybody, this is Mike and my son Patrick behind the camera. Today we're going to cover the general assembly instructions for my cupcake stands. Now the same procedures and parts um, are going to be pretty much the same on all my stands, whether they're round, square, box type, whatever. But you're going to basically have several parts. You're going to have your tier pieces, you're going to have your spacers, and you're going to have your support rod. Now you may or may not get more than one of these. It just depends on what you asked me for to begin with. This particular stand is going to be a 9-tier round cupcake stand, and it's going to have tier sizes that go from 24 all the way up to 8 inches on the top. The first thing you're going to do is find the base piece after you get everything unpacked. If you can, keep the plastic in between each tier. That way, since the paint's usually kind of fresh, it'll keep them from sticking together if there's curing problems or whatever. It normally takes paint, several weeks in order to get fully cured and hard, just kind of like the same thing on your house. So just keep that in mind, be careful with it. So find your base piece, and it usually has the felt dots on the bottom, and you're going to notice right here in the center there's what's called the T-nut. Now this is where the support rod is going to screw into. This is the bottom side. When you flip it over, this is the top side, and you have a small hole. Okay, this is where you're going to insert the support rod. So after you get the base piece, you find your support rod. The support rod has a piece of blue tape on the end with a nut and a washer on it. All you're going to do is take the tape off. Leave everything on here just as it is. This nut is supposed to be set where it's at. Now you can, it can be moved up and down as you need to, but that's pretty much the way I take them off when I get done. So first thing you're going to do is take your support rod just like this and put it in the small hole, not this side, this side. Put it in here and start turning the rod, okay? Now, as you turn the rod and it's getting close to the nut and the washer, what you're gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over. You're not normally gonna hold it like this, but you can see the end of the rod. You don't want the rod to extend past the T-nut, the very flat part. Definitely not past the end of here, okay? Once you have the rod there, what you're gonna do is turn the nut until it stops with your fingers, and then you're going to get the wrench. It's a 7/16 wrench. You can also use a pair of pliers or a crescent wrench or whatever you have laying around, but you're just going to tighten this. That's like a half a turn. That's one turn. It shouldn't take more than a turn, or no way to. Okay, so once you have that there, then you have your support rod in. You're going to start putting the stand together. Get one of your spacers and slide it down the rod. Once you have it down the rod, you grab your first tier and slide that down the rod. And all you're going to do is keep repeating this procedure all the way up. Okay? So one after the other. Alright? Now, our patch is going to keep filming me while I do this, but it's the same thing. Just keep going up until you get to the top. If you want to skip forward a little bit, you can. Oh, I forgot to put the spacer on. You can skip forward until we get to the top. Now, the top's very important, so pay close attention when we get to that point. I normally don't do it with two hands, but it's working. And as you're putting it together, you're going to see that it's kind of wobbly. It won't be like that when we get done with it. That's why the top piece is kind of critical to the whole assembly of this thing, because it's what tightens it all up. All right. Now, we're at the top. Now the top piece also has a T-nut in it, which is right here, and a small hole on this side. Now, this T-nut needs to be facing up towards the sky, not this way. And it is possible to put it on the wrong way, which is where everybody seems to have the problems when they don't follow the instructions right. And you can turn it, it will go on there, but what happens is as you turn it, the rod starts pulling down on the T-nut, and the T-nut will actually pull out. If that happens, it's not a big deal. Just take the T-nut back off the rod, push it back into the hole, and then put it on correctly with this piece facing up. Okay, so if you put it on there, give it a spin until it kind of reaches bottom. Now you see it moves a little bit, but it's not as wobbly as before. Now what you do is you just start turning this. Now the thing you want to watch out for is over tightening this. If you over tighten it on the top up here, the rod will be sticking up above the edge of the top tier. Also, what happens if you keep tightening it, now it's pulling down on that T-nut, and what will happen is you'll pull that T-nut right through this tier, and you ruin this piece. Now I can make you another piece, no problem, but you don't want to do that. Now once it's together, now it's nice and sturdy. Okay, now you can actually take this stand and grab it like this and do it like a barbell. It will, you can actually stand it up this way, do whatever you want to. It's solid. It's a good solid piece. So anyway, that's how you put them together. If you have any questions or anything, just send me a message on Etsy or my website, and I'll take care of it. Thanks.